All right, I'm gonna show you a clip from a show called Modern Family. Now, the main character, Gloria, she's a native Spanish speaker. So let's take a look at how she recognizes a pronunciation mistake that she's making because of the power of what I call minimal pairs. So let's take a look.
Look!
At what?
What do you mean at what? I said look.
I am looking.
I know you are. Stay on the beams. Maybe it's here. ¡Ay, Dios mío! ¡El diablo is back! What is so special about that angel anyways?
I don't know. I guess Nana made it for Mom and Uncle Mitchell when they were kids.
Ay, that's nice.
Ow!
Look, where are you going?
To open more boxes.
Ay.
Oh, you said look where you're going, didn't you?
Yes.
Every time you say Luke, I think you're saying look.
I don't hear the difference.
It's not that hard. Juan is my name.
Juan is not your name. Stop kidding around and look. Ay, I get it. Luke sounds like Luke.
Yes, thank God. I've been carrying that one around for 3 years.
Love that clip because it shows the power of minimal pairs. Gloria did not hear the difference between look and Luke. So the character's name was Luke, but she kept confusing look and Luke. And the only difference here is the vowel in there. There's and oo. Look, Luke. Look, Luke. Ooh. As she's going through this, he's hearing either look or Luke. He's not hearing the difference. So as they're interacting, she's saying, Luke, and he's like, I am looking, so there's this confusion between, is she saying look or Luke? But there at the end, she paired it close together and she's like, look, Luke, oh, I hear it. So that's the power of minimal pairs, is once you can hear the difference, then you can actually pronounce it differently. Okay, you have to hear it first before you can pronounce it correctly. So in my program, we do a lot of contrasting these minimal pairs because you have to train your ear. You have to hear the difference. Okay, so when we pair these minimal pairs, you can hear it. So for you, you have to think for yourself, can I hear the difference between and oo? Okay, look, Luke. Okay, so I'm going to pair these together with the vowels and oo. Okay, book. Book. Okay. Book, book. Good, good. Push, push. Cook, kook. Can you hear the difference between those two? If you can, then you're ready to move on and pronounce them. But if you don't hear them yet, we have to keep going through those sound exercises or those listening exercises. So book, book. Okay, so what's the difference between those? Book is pulled forward a little bit. So book. There's a push to the front of the mouth. Book, book. Whereas book is pulled back a little bit. Ooh, book. Book, book. Now let's do another one. Good, push it forward. Good, good. Good, good. Okay, are you able to get that? Push, push. Push, push. Okay, hopefully you're matching this with me. So imitation is a great way to learn the American accent. Cook, kook. Cook, kook. This is how you train your ear and your mouth to use the sounds of American English. You have an accent in American English because you're using the sounds of your native language while speaking English. You haven't developed the neural pathways of all of the sounds of English. Vowels are especially tricky, okay? So once you are able to hear the sounds of English, hear the difference in the sounds of English, then you can start using them correctly. Start training your mouth to use those. A lot of my students, what happens is once they hear it, it's like, oh, now I hear it. Now I can change it. But it does take a little bit more practice than a lot of repetition to retrain the mouth to move in that new way. Okay, this is minimal pairs and accent training. So as I take my students through my program, what I'm doing is trying to get them to hear the difference through listening exercises. And once they hear it, there's this aha. Oh my gosh, I didn't hear that before. Now that I hear it, I'm hearing it all over the place. So they're noticing things and noticing how Americans are speaking, whereas they just didn't even hear it before. That's because that neural pathway is then created because they did these listening exercises. So minimal pairs are extremely powerful, and it's the first step to really retraining your accent to sound more like a native speaker. Now, many of my students, what happens is they start hearing the difference and then they feel like their English got worse. And that's because before they were doing it incorrectly, but they didn't hear the difference. They didn't know that they were speaking incorrectly. But once they do these listening exercises, they then start hearing it. So they feel like, oh, my accent got worse, my English got worse. But what's happening, that's a very normal, natural part of the process. You have to hear it first. You have to recognize that there is a problem or there's an error there before you can start retraining it. And that retraining process does take quite a bit of time and effort. So hopefully that was helpful. I love Gloria and her confidence in speaking English, even as a second language. And even though she's making a bunch of mistakes and she's figuring it out as she goes. And that's such an example to us of just, you have to speak, you have to practice to make it happen. So if you are wanting to improve your pronunciation, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll teach you all the things that I can to help you learn how to speak clear and confident American English.